Hello and welcome to Parallax, where we look at life from how we work. Joining us today is Father Peter. Father Peter is a Franciscan friar and priest and an instructor at Archbishop Curley High School. Father Peter, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity for us. So I would like to start off by asking a little bit about life as a Franciscan friar. Mm-hmm. So what was it that first attracted you to the Franciscan order?
I went to high school outside of Buffalo, New York. It was a Catholic high school that my community to this day still runs. That's where I first got to know the friars. I grew up very devout Catholic, every Sunday going to Mass with my family, and when I met the friars, they were different from all the other priests, all the other religious that I had ever known. They were really down-to-earth guys. They were normal kind of people. I noticed that, my family noticed that, all of my friends noticed that, so there was an automatic comfort and familiarity. And so as the years progressed and I continued, as teenagers do, wrestle with my faith, I felt the call. And I went to college, I kept thinking about it, praying about it, and I figured I'm not gonna know for sure unless I try. So after I had graduated college, I joined the Franciscans, and my first step with them was to work with the poor on the streets in Philadelphia for 2 years. And it was there that I said, boy, if this is kind of what I get to do, live in community, pray in community, these are normal guys that enjoy a good joke, watching normal television, not sticks in the mud who pray all day, I could do this.
Now when you were letting your family know that this was your calling, you know, parents oftentimes have designs for what they'd like their children to do. Yeah. So I'm sure that some families would be elated to hear that you're going to enter a Franciscan friary and go to seminary. Other families may have wanted grandkids. Yeah. So talk a little bit about how your family reacted when you broke the news to them.
Well, I come from, maybe it's stereotypical, the perfect Catholic family. My father was in the seminary for 3 years. My mother was in the convent discerning to be a nun for a number of years. And they both chose different paths, met later after those paths became obvious and got married. So for me to say to them that I was thinking about being a Franciscan, thinking about being a priest, it was something that they were both very, very proud of. Now, I have a twin brother, and he now has 5 children. So there's plenty of grandkids going around. So there's not really the sense of, oh, we missed out on something because Peter didn't have kids. So it's a nice combination. Lots of grandkids, and I'm the priest in the family. So it is a little stereotypical, the Catholic family, but yeah, they were very proud, very excited. But interestingly enough, because my father had spent years in the seminary before he left and joined the military, my mother had spent time discerning as a religious herself. They knew what it was that I was thinking about. And so rather than being just sentimentally supportive, they were actually able to really support me because they knew what it was that I was doing and thinking about.
Mm-hmm. So the knots on your cord refer, there's 3 knots, and they refer to poverty, chastity, and obedience.
Yep.
Right? So talk about those 3, I guess, would you call them pillars or
vows?
Vows.
The vows, the 3 vows that we take as religious. The vow of poverty isn't for us a vow to be destitute in the street with nothing. For us, it's a simplicity of life, that we dedicate ourselves to living a simple life in common. So everything that we have, we share in common. And that's what we mean by poverty. It's a simplicity of a way of life which is intended to challenge the world, challenge ourselves, and to mean that we're free. I don't have any possessions weighing me down. The vow of chastity means that we don't marry. We don't love the way that, let's say, my twin brother loves. So he has a wife he's very dedicated to, 5 young children that he's very dedicated to, and that's the vocation of his life. So for us, the chastity that we're called to is celibacy, and our life is dedicated to our religious community and those that we serve. And then the vow of obedience simply means that we rely on those brothers who are our ministers to help us understand what God is calling us to.
Well, Father Peter, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us about life as a Franciscan friar. You can find out more information about the Franciscan friars at olaprovince.org. And until next time, keep it between the white line and the ditches.